Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome to the show, everyone. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day. It is such an honor and a privilege to connect in with you. Today, we're going to be talking about embracing your potential. We love to talk about unmasking and stepping into your potential in October, and we're going to combine that with how to have a positive impact. And I think it's really important that we stop and pause and think about what sort of an impact are we having? Are we having the impact that we want to have? If we were to look back at our life, the impact that we're having, is that something that we're going to celebrate? Is that echoing out what matters most to us? Or is there a little bit of room to step forward even more? I find every time I stop, pause, and look, I see, oh, there's another place. I can step forward just a little bit more when I keep top of mind what matters most to me. And I remember to do that. Stop, pause, and look at where I'm at, where I'm wanting to go. I'm mindful of what I'm saying yes and no to. It can help me purposely move forward those things that matter most. And I hope have the positive impact that I can have in this world. And today we have an amazing expert. He has just such a rich history of experience, an amazing passion and commitment to not only himself having a positive impact, but helping others. And in fact, he has a calling on his heart to bring forward an amazing book we celebrate. It's being launched today. It's now available on Amazon for a special rate. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But it's called Have a Positive Impact During Uncertain Times. So I know you're going to enjoy getting to know our amazing guest, and he's going to give us some really great tools, tips, and insights that even when we're in difficult or uncertain times, that we too can step in and have a positive impact. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. I'm looking forward to the show. So honored to have all of you leaning in and joining the conversation. But here's the deal. I want you to be able to get the most out of our time together today, because I know it is not an accident that you tuned in today. I know, in fact, that there is something here for you by the very nature that you were drawn and called to join us today. So what I want to invite you to do is to be fully present. Really give yourself the gift of being available, present to receive whatever it is that is here for you today, because we've got something powerful for you. And I know that because you tuned in. None of that is by accident. So those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Both hands on the wheel, no texting and driving. You're inwardly tuning in, but you are keeping your eyes open if you're driving. Those of you who are not driving and are able to, I invite you to put both feet on the floor. Sit back in your chair, feel that supporting you. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head, and breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, like through a straw. And the reason I have you put the hand on your head and your heart is I want you to be mindful about bringing all of you in, mind, body, soul, and spirit. So again, that hand on your heart, a hand on your head, breathing in. And the type of breathing, when we breathe in through our nose, expand our belly. See how big you can make it? And then out through your mouth, like through a straw. Keep breathing. This type of breathing helps bring you present. It lowers your stress levels. It brings oxygen to every cell in your body, which lets you and lowers those cortisol levels. So it enables you to be fully present, ready to receive, full of rich oxygen, which helps us be able to make great choices in a place that is centered. So keep breathing. And while you're breathing, eyes closed, I want you to just think about the conversation we've started and that we're going to have today around having a positive impact. Even during uncertain times, you can have a positive impact, no matter what may be going on around you. And I want you to just think about that and see how that feels, if there's a quickening in your heart and spirit about having a positive impact, a resonance with that. And in that, what is it that you need today, real time, to support you, to empower you to have a positive impact? What do you need today? And I'm going to add to that you are willing to receive because you have choice. So what is it that you need today and are willing to receive? Just receive that information. Take a deep breath. Come back into the room, eyes fully open. Wonderful. And I invite you to write down what was laid on your heart. Write down what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's keep it top of mind. Let's be actively on the lookout for it with excitement and anticipation on receiving exactly what it is that you need. And in fact, I'm going to encourage you to be open to the how. In fact, look forward to being surprised at how that need may be met in an unexpected way that surprises and delights you. Let's breathe that in. Wonderful. I just love to start in the heart space where we can connect and heart and spirit as we come together so that we can be connected in that place in our conversation. And I'd love to go around our room here and introduce lightly. I'm going to more formally introduce our guest in just a moment. But I'd love, Peter, for you to share just what was laid on your heart when you took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. Oh, Peter, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can. I'd love to know what was laid on your heart when we took a moment to just stop, pause, and listen.
I love the way you frame stop, pause, and listen. That is so important in terms of possibility of when we can slow down in this high-energy life we lead and be able to reflect in terms of what we would like to impact and how we can move toward it. My experience over the years is that anybody can have an impact. It doesn't matter their age. It doesn't matter their background. If they choose to slow down and give thought to what it is they want to do, they can move toward it. And I'm excited to be able to talk about some ways of doing that. But that was what was on my heart, is that everybody can do this. It is not restricted to anyone. And I have found that out repeatedly.
Beautiful. I love that it's open to all, and we can do that. Stop, pause, and listen, and we can choose to have a positive impact, which is so powerful, and I find exciting and empowering. So listeners, as we get ready to go to our first commercial break, I want to invite you to treat these 2-minute, they're commercial breaks, but they're actually moments for you in disguise, as those beautiful commercials play in the background, updating you on information we'd love for you to be aware of and know about. It gives you these 2-minute moments, segments throughout the show to actually put this into practice, to stop, pause, and listen to what is being spoken into your heart and spirit. Integrate what is being given to you into your life in those 2 minutes, in those breaths. You're able to start bringing this into your life real time. So as we go into this first commercial break, these first 2 minutes just for you, I encourage you, stay present. Resist the urge to cross things off the to-do list and really give yourself that time to stop, pause, and listen to what is being placed on your heart. And with that, We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes and you really gave yourself that gift, that opportunity to stay and be fully present. Stop, pause, listen, and receive. So welcome back. And today we are talking with the amazing and powerful Peter Prichard. I'm going to more formally introduce him in just a moment. And one of the things that's really special about today that we're getting to talk with him, he's launching his just transformational book called Have a Positive Impact During Uncertain Times. It is now available, drum roll, dun, dun, dun. It is now available on Amazon. And in honor of the launch, he's actually making it available for $1. So $1 for the next 24 to 48 hours. So make sure to, if this resonates with you, you want to take action while you can get that special rate, that special deal. And I'm just so thrilled that during his campaign and sharing out there and getting the message out there, he's carved out some time to spend with us and share some of his heartfelt wisdom with us. And that's just such an honor and a privilege. So let me just start the conversation by introducing you to Peter. So Peter Prichard is a career and leadership coach who has helped thousands, underlined, thousands of individuals from 6 different continents have a positive impact. He's been a professional writer for over 40 years, has published multiple books, and today, as I mentioned, he's launching Have a Positive Impact During Uncertain Times. And I'm just I keep wanting to share our exciting announcement. Before I do that, though, help me welcome the amazing and powerful, and I know inspiring, you're just going to be so encouraged and inspired by the powerful Peter Prichard. Welcome him to the show. Woo! Welcome.
Thank you so much. That's great.
You are so welcome. I'm so excited and thrilled to have you joining us. And so I don't accidentally let the announcement out, I wanted to start with the powerful news. About a half hour before we got on the show together, I know Peter got exciting news about the book that was just launched this morning. So would you share with us your special announcement? We're announcing it here first. So exciting.
Yes. We just heard, as Rebecca said half an hour ago, that Have a Positive Impact During Uncertain Times is the number one new release on Amazon, and is in the top 10 category in top 10 in three different categories. So I'm very excited for that to happen. But I'm also excited by the fact that the message of having a positive impact is timely, and people are responding to that because it is uncertain times. That is not some made-up title. Positive impact, uncertain times, and there are actions that every individual in the world can take to impact that, and I'm really excited to be able to share what some of those actions might be as we move ahead. So, very exciting for us and for the people that are buying the book, because there are things that every individual on this call can take advantage of.
Oh, congratulations. We celebrate you. What a powerful accomplishment. And I know you put so much thought into when to bring this book forward, that you had a sense of urgency to bring this book forward for such a time as this. Like, there was a real calling on your heart that this book was needed. And so I celebrate you leaning into that, honoring that. And to me, it is such an exciting affirmation that in such a short amount of time that your book has been received around the world, that it's become a number one bestseller, which is powerful, and that you're in the top 10 in multiple categories. So just congratulations. Thank you for saying yes, and we celebrate with you.
Thank you very much, Rebecca. I appreciate that. It's an exciting time.
Absolutely. And before we go too deep into our conversation, because I want to make sure we are all on the same page, when you're talking about having a positive impact, what does that mean? How do you describe and explain that?
That's a very good question, and a key point I want to get across about that is positive impact can be very small in terms of, I've had people who simply decided to start to smile and be friendlier than they might have been when they meet people and when they're around people. Two, individuals who've decided to have an impact on a community or a country. One of the facts that I really wanted to get across in the book is that everybody at every age can do this. There's an example I give of an 8-year-old boy in Mexico who changed that country's policy in terms of the environment. 8 years old. I was influenced years ago when a young lady who was in 8th grade in the town I lived in changed the town's attitude towards young people through an impassioned speech she gave to the town council. So it can be anyone of any age. And the final example is there was a 98-year-old woman in a course that I was teaching in our town who made a commitment to help people who are old have an impact. She's 98. She's helping people have a positive impact. So the message is everybody of every age can have an impact. It can be small in terms of just changing the way you interact. It can be huge in terms of changing an environmental policy in a country. And age is irrelevant.
Yes. Underline explanation point. Thank you for sharing that. Now, listeners, I want you to take a moment and really take in what he shared, because I think so often we say, I'm too young, I'm too old, I'm too small, I'm too this, I'm too that. Whereas as simple as making a smile, that willingness to step forward and make a difference, that choice is what I'm hearing him share, that those limits we sometimes put upon ourselves or we hear are truly not limits. There are no limits to you being able to lean in and have a positive impact. And one of the other things about your title, and you emphasized this a little bit when we first started talking here, you talked about uncertain times and that these are uncertain times. So can you share a little bit about why it was so on your heart to bring this book forward, particularly in these uncertain times? Why is that? Why are you calling them uncertain times, and why is there such a need for this message to be shared out?
Yes, and I'm glad you've given me a chance to speak to that, because sometimes people turn immediately. Uncertain times, it's political. It's the politics in whatever country we're talking about, and I'm not talking about partisan politics necessarily. I'm talking about all the things that are happening around the world that are having a negative impact on people, whether it's related to weather, whether it's related to children, whatever. And so uncertain times is the idea that people are feeling less control over their lives because of what's happening in their country or their world. The idea of headline distress disorder is a psychological factor that has come out in the last number of years because of all the negative news that's happening. So when I saw that, and when I talked to very talented people about how they're moving forward, some of them are really immobilized by just hearing negative news constantly. So one of the things we can do is change our pattern of how we listen to news in a way that's more positive. So there's a section in the book that identifies news channels that are legitimate and positive. So all of a sudden you're changing your habit of turning on whatever station or whatever media, and that might seem like a small thing, but all of a sudden you're starting to hear more of a balance in terms of the news that's out there. So I'm very glad to have had a chance to answer that question, because it's global, it's not just partisan, and there are very concrete things that individuals can do to change their habits so that they can move forward more positively.
Thank you for sharing about that. And one of the things I know that you talk about in your book, so uncertain times, but also there is this sense of overwhelm that people can feel, and discouragement, and almost this helplessness, or those are some of the results of what they're feeling in these uncertain times. And I'd love for you to speak to that a little bit. Is that a common thing? Is that isolated? And what are some ways this book might be able to help us navigate those waters?
The first answer to that question is it's everywhere. There are people on every level in every country who are feeling overwhelmed and feeling as if they are losing control of their lives. It has nothing to do with education. I've talked to brilliant individuals on all levels who are just saying, I don't know what to do. Look at what it is that's going on. So to your question about what can be done about it, it's very important to really give some thought to is there some particular event or series of events that's happening that is particularly distressing to you. And the book talks a lot about focus, so identifying what particularly is bothering you, what particularly is de-energizing you, and writing that down, giving some thought to it, because when there's a focus to what's bothering you, when there's clarity to what's bothering you, what that then provides an ability to do something about it. If it's an overall general malaise of I just can't function anymore, that's very difficult to deal with. But if you, as you did at the beginning of the program, if you slow down, if you take a breath, stop, pause, listen, receive, you start to get a sense of control, start to get a sense of, hey, there's something I can do about this because I understand what the this is. If it's pervasive and a general depression, very difficult to move forward. So I would say that's a place to start in terms of your question. And there are a number of other things I hope we have a chance to speak to as well, but that's a beginning.
Yeah, no, thank you. I really appreciate it because I think there is this hesitancy sometimes to talk about things that are uncomfortable or uncertainty or overwhelm. And I really appreciate having some direct information and focus and direction that we can take, that we can navigate these waters. We're not alone, and we can approach these things in a powerful, proactive way, not just feeling stuck in that overwhelm and general discomfort, but that we can actually take steps and move forward. So I really appreciate you sharing that. And
I really want to underscore, Rebecca, proactive. That's an excellent addition to what I said, is being able to take action in a direction that deals in a real way. In and of itself starts to create a sense of control that might not have been there before. So proactive is a very powerful and relevant word to use during this conversation. Nicely done.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's what I was hearing as you were sharing and speaking. And the other picture I was getting is I was really thinking about the cover of your book. And as you were sharing what we can do in those uncertain times when we might be feeling overwhelmed and stuck, that your cover, I feel like, is such a beautiful example, and it captures the essence of your book, and it also captures this conversation that we're having right now. Would you mind describing what your cover looks like for our listeners who haven't seen it yet?
Yes, there are three pieces to the cover. The first is a road moving towards the distance. Every one of us is on a road. Some of you literally might be listening to this on the road, as you said in the introduction. So there's a road moving towards the horizon. A. B. There's a rainbow that's over this road as an individual's moving forward, and in the distance there are some clouds. So the whole idea of we're all on a journey. There's possibility as identified obviously by the rainbow, and yet we have to be cognizant that there are clouds that are going to impact all of us in a very real way, which is why I have a whole section on resilience, the idea of having something that when things happen, how can we develop a resilient personality so that we can bounce back from the things that happen and feel like we can take control? So the cover is really symbolic and very concrete. We're all on a journey. We're all moving forward. There's a possibility for us to have a life that we're satisfied with, and yet we have to be aware of the storm clouds and about things we can do to deal with them when they happen, because they will happen.
Exactly. But we're the ones we can choose to be proactive again. I love that word now, that we can keep taking steps on that journey towards the light. We can take action. We're not helpless and subject to anything that comes along. We can really choose to have a positive impact no matter what. And I love how your book underscores that, underlines it, and it helps people in really practical and inspiring ways throughout your book. And we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break. So I want to give you a moment, listeners, to process some of what's being spoken into your heart and spirit. Really take in the powerful advice and wisdom that Peter's sharing with us. And when we come back, we've got even more for you. Enjoy these next 2 minutes.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you really gave yourself the opportunity to stop, pause, listen, and receive. In fact, I want you to think about how we opened the show and we took a moment to listen in to what it is that you need today to encourage you and empower you to have a positive impact. Starting right now, going forward, if you're having that positive impact, how can we even have it reach out a little bit more, sharing a little bit more of who you are? Look at what you wrote on that paper. And as we come back into our conversation with Peter, I want you to be listening in for answers and support around exactly what you need today, that you can receive at real time. Peter, I have been enjoying our conversation, and I feel like there's such a groundedness and conviction and power and certainty in what you're sharing with us. And what a gift that is, especially during uncertain times, to kind of have that anchor and roots that go deep in bringing forward this powerful information. Those of you who are just joining us, we are talking with Peter Prichard. He is the author of Have a Positive Impact During Uncertain Times, released now today as we speak on Amazon. Super excited about the launch. So we're excited that he's able to join us today and share from his heart about this book. And this, I feel like it's a real gift that he's bringing to the world, and we're able to add it to our resources in the library. So in case you missed my announcement earlier, he's offering it today for $1, $1 US. Great opportunity to lean into and add this book to your library. So it's available in electronic format, and you can get it for the next 24 to 72 hours on Amazon. Peter, I would love to continue our conversation. In the last segment, you started to talk a little bit about resilience. Would you, and how important that is, especially in uncertain times and having a positive impact, we need to have resilience. Do you mind sharing what that is and what that means in our lives?
Yes, resilience is really a central premise of the book, and it ties into one's physical and mental health as well. Resilience is the ability of how able somebody is to move forward when negative things happen to them. And negative things happen to all of us. There's nobody that's immune from negative things that might happen. What people often don't understand is that they can control their feeling of being able to move forward in terms of things. And here's a key question for everybody who's listening to give some thought to, and it's the following. Do you believe that external events primarily shape you, or do you believe that you have the ability to shape yourself moving forward? Is it external events, or is it events that you control? And what I found in the number of years that I've been doing this kind of work, as you said when you introduced me, on 6 continents, what I found is that individuals who feel that they have an internal control, and no matter what happens to them, they control their own destiny, are going to be much more likely to have a positive impact than those who are living their lives in terms of, well, it's all the other things. And the example I gave very briefly earlier, the 98-year-old woman who stood up in my workshop and looked at everybody in the workshop and said, I'm 98. Many of you are 50 years younger than I am. I want to help you move forward. This was a person that wasn't letting age in any way slow her down. The same with the young man that I mentioned who was 8 years old, or the young lady in 8th grade who absolutely took control of the room in all those situations. So resilience is believing that you have the ability to shape events versus events are shaping you. And it's critically important for anybody that's looking to have a positive impact.
Thank you for sharing that. Listeners, that's a really good thing to write down and think about, and even ask at times, like a check-in. We love to have our toolkits. That's something we build over time in our different shows and conversations. A really great question to add to your toolkit is that, are you having external things in control, or are you taking control in what is coming forward? Really important to check in and see, and add that as an ongoing check-in, especially if you have the tendency to let external things set the tone versus your internal drive and focus and those things that matter most to you. And I was thinking about this resilience. How does family and our networks fall together with that?
They are intimately involved, and the reason for that is very clear. Our family, immediate or extended family, is our family. We are connected to them personally, emotionally, physically, and mentally. So if you have a family dynamic that is bringing you down, well, girls don't do that, or, you're too old to do that, or whatever it is that's coming from your family, these are the people that you've lived with. These are the people that you're physically connected to in terms of your heritage and your upbringing, can be devastating. And I've had hundreds of conversations, which is why there's a section in the book in terms of, is your family a help or a hindrance? I've had individuals on all levels, when I said, is there anything that's going to keep you from moving forward? And say, well, yeah, it's my family. And a key thing to look at, if you believe that's the case, is to find out if, in fact, it really is the family. Because when I've asked people, write down all the things that are getting in the way of you having a positive impact. Write them down, all of them. Make an extended list. And when they've come back with that list and we've sat down with it, then I ask them, how much of this is your family, related to your family? And often they're blaming the family because it's easier, but when in fact it's something else. So having difficult conversations with members of your family, individuals who are constantly putting you down or telling you you can't do something, becomes a central part of having a positive impact and taking control of your life, because they're connected to you by blood, they're connected to you by proximity, and they have a real can have a real impact way of hurting you and also of helping you. You've got a family where that's not the issue, and you can go to them and they're completely supportive. That's fantastic. It's not often the case, and I want to make sure that you understand clearly, is it the family or is it something else? Which is why I spent a good chunk of time in the book helping with, are they a help or are they a hindrance? And that's going to impact you moving forward in the way that I've described.
Exactly. And I also like in the book, you actually guide people through difficult conversations and how to do that. I mean, that's really empowering. So one, the starting with, is it really the family? It's that getting clarity. So it's not just all this nebulous stuff. And this general, my family doesn't support me or whatever, or does, but it's really going in and looking and seeing what is true and then putting that power, that choice into our hands of what we can move forward, what we can take steps on. I think that's really, really powerful, and that you have all of these tools to help us. So speaking of tools and toolkit, there's one section I just love. Now, one of the things Peter has in his book, he has all these beautiful quotes that are inspiring. He has all of these amazing resources that you can click on and you can learn and grow and take steps and questions you can answer. So he's walking right beside you on the journey. But you also have this amazing list of inspiring things to lift our spirits. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yes, it's very important for individuals during these uncertain times in countries all over the world to surround themselves as much as possible with positive, in the book, there's a whole appendix on positive resources. So those could be a video of nature. I'm a quote guy. I'm a writer. So quotes, I have quotes all over my office and on my phone that are inspiring to me. It's the idea of having something that you can access on your electronic device, something that you see every day when you wake up that's inspiring to you. I'm looking right now at a picture of our youngest grandson who's smiling up at me. Every time I look at that picture of him, all the bad stuff goes away, and it's like I am so blessed to have this little person in my life. And right next to him are our two other grandsons. And when I look at those pictures of those three guys, it's like, okay, you think you got problems, you got them. And then I look at the pictures of the rest of the family, and it's like I am blessed. So surrounding yourself with whatever inspires you, whatever allows you to feel better, whether it's listening to positive news, whether it's pictures, whether it's words, whether it's nature. What is it that centers you and allows you to feel more supported and more confident? And the more you surround yourself with those on your mobile device, in your world, the more likely it is that you're going to be able to combat the prevailing negativeness that often surrounds very talented people who want to move forward and have questions as to whether they can do that. This isn't touchy-feely kinds of things. This is reality. If you're looking at a picture of something that impacts you positively 10 times every day, you're much more likely to move ahead.
Beautiful. Thank you. And to me, that's also looking at taking control of the environment around us, that we are choosing to put things in that are positive, that matter to us, that remind us when we forget or get disheartened and discouraged, and having it at our fingertips is so, so powerful. And Peter's book, I'm so excited to have him on our show today, to be able to bring his message forward. And his book is so powerful. It's so inspiring. Take a look at the reviews that people have written, the lives that have been touched by it. I know when I read it, I was very impacted and encouraged. And I loved the quotes. I loved the reminders. I liked that there were really practical things that I could do. And yet he has this beautiful inspiration as well, and real stories that he's just highlighted a few examples of how we can move forward and have a positive difference. So I want to encourage everyone to lean in, consider this resource, consider adding it to your library. What a powerful tool to have at your fingertips to bring into your environment to support you, to encourage you on your journey. There are so many amazing resources he makes available. He's very generous in the type of information, tools, and resources that he's making available to you just one click at a time in this powerful book. So again, you can find it on Amazon. You can find it under Peter Prichard or under the title, Have a Positive Impact During Uncertain Times. And for right now, for the next 24 to 48 hours, depending on when you're joining us in on the show, it's going to be available for $1. So I invite you to lean in and choose. Be proactive about bringing an amazing tool like this into your resource library and into your life. And with that, we're going to our next commercial break, 2 minutes. I'm going to encourage you to take a moment to stop, pause, breathe, integrate what's being spoken into your heart and spirit, and perhaps add that list that after the show, you take that action and lean into that amazing resource. But don't go away, because we've got some powerful tips and advice we want to share with you that you can take with you as you go back out into the world. So make sure to come back in 2 minutes. We'll look forward to talking to you then.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's Not Just Talk Radio, hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-hosts Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing, packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Become a member of VoiceAmerica.com. It's easy, and best of all, it's free. Start out by going to our homepage or any of our channels and click register at the top. Once you've created an account and signed in, you can create your own custom library, opt into our newsletter, search by show, host, guest, or topic of interest, or browse millions of hours of content across all of our Voice America radio channels. Membership gets you more. Visit VoiceAmerica.com today to get started and tailor the listening experience to your taste.
Hear the stories. Be motivated. Be inspired. Join us today. Voice America Influencers.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. That you, when you looked back at how we started the show, what was laid on your heart that you needed today, that you have been able to process, integrate, and receive something to encourage you, inspire you, maybe a step that you can take or a reminder of how you, in fact, can choose to have a positive impact. behind the scenes, I asked Peter if he could share just something on his heart, something that as we look back on the show today, we're looking at his powerful book launch and then having all of you go back out into the world. What was on his heart to share with you? And he's got some powerful pieces of information and advice that he wants to bring forth. So, Peter, I would love for you to share.
Thank you again, Rebecca. Yes, what I want to do is to lay out a process for, steps for having a positive impact. We've spoken to bits and pieces. I want to lay this out very clearly. There are three pieces or steps to this process. The first is asking yourself the question, what do you have to offer? What is it that you as an individual has to offer? I've made a very passionate statement about the fact that everybody can have a positive impact. And a key to what you have to offer is being self-aware. And there are a number of exercises in the book that really help you identify what you have to offer in terms of your skills, your motives, your competencies. And a very important piece to that is the idea of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is just that. How emotionally intelligent are you? And the first step in the four-step emotional intelligence process is to be self-aware. So going to that exercise, getting a sense of your emotional intelligence is going to help you understand what you have to offer. The second part of the process is, where do you want to do that? Do you have a cause that you feel passionate about? I did a workshop just last night, and I asked that question of the people in the workshop, and there was a woman that got so engaged in the idea of poverty. I want to lessen poverty. And we spent time talking with Maria in terms of how she might do that. So do you have a cause? Is there an issue? Is there something that is really where you would want to do it? And the final one is, how are you going to do it? And there are all kinds of ways of doing it, but the primary way you're going to be able to do that is to engage your network. It doesn't matter whether you're introverted, extroverted, quiet, outgoing. Everyone on this call has a network, and so the ability to be able to engage your network, to have a conversation, if there's something that you're passionate about, sit down, think, okay, who in my network would be able to help me with this? And be able to then reach out to that individual and say, Bill, Jane, Juan, Rolinda, what is it that you would suggest? You know me very well. You know how I approach things. What would be your suggestions about dealing with this thing I want to have an impact on? So what do you have to offer? Where do you want to offer it? And how do you want to do it? Primary way to do that is through your network.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for summarizing that and giving us steps that we can take. And we are coming to the close of our show here, Peter. I just thank you so much for taking time on your launch day to be with us and share with us today. Just what an honor and a gift to all of us. And listeners, thank you for leaning in and being part of the conversation. I know I got some great insights. I hope that you did as well, that you can bring forward. And one other special thing about his book is it's actually the beginning. So you can lean in, get his amazing book. Again, for anyone who missed the announcement, $1 on Amazon, How to Have a Positive Impact During Uncertain Times. But in that, he has a way that you can actually engage and start to share your positive impact stories that he can then echo and share out. So it's an interactive book. It's starting the conversation, and then you get to carry it forward and become part of that bigger conversation of having a positive impact. So as we bring our time together to a close, I want to encourage you to remember you have choice. Remember that you are beautifully, powerfully, wonderfully made and absolutely needed for such a time as this. And especially during uncertain times, I hope that you choose to have a positive impact, that you choose to bloom where you are planted and shine. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.